Hello and welcome to my weekly video blog, and today I'm going to be talking about strange feelings you can experience in the perimenopause and menopause. If you like my tips and advice, then please subscribe and remember to hit the bell icon so you can be notified of all my new videos. So do you feel a bit strange and you're not really quite sure why? Do you feel that you are feeling sort of disconnected, you're on edge, your brain's all over the place, you just can't focus on anything? You might find that you're really getting fuzzy-headed and, sometimes the world kind of goes in and out and you've just no idea what's happening here. So this is what I'm going to talk about today. It's very common. So no, don't think that you're going mad or it's all in your head, because this is it's a physical happening that's going on. So there are very good reasons for this. The main one is that falling estrogen can affect our emotional control. And when that happens, we get pulled into things much more easily. We can also pull back much more easily as well. And sometimes that's what gives us this feeling of disconnection or zoning out. You might find your partners or your friends moaning at you because you just don't seem to focus on them and you seem to be in a completely different world, or you've zoned out. So this is part of this scenario. So you can feel disconnected from everything and everybody. There's no emotional, you don't feel emotionally connected to people. You might find that you're emotionally numb, so you don't feel love as much. You might not feel that you don't like your friends as much. You might feel that you have a much bigger difference between liking and not liking, which is a very sort of strange feeling. I think those of you out there will know what I mean. It's just sometimes it's kind of difficult to actually explain exactly how we can feel about this. We can also feel disconnected from ourselves. So it's like we're looking at the world through a different pair of eyes and we're wondering, why are we feeling like this? Why are we doing this? Why are we not doing this? We can also feel disconnected from the world. It's like we can see things going on. I know for some of you, you're watching what's going on in the world and you get extra upset about it. But there are also those of you who will feel again that it's got nothing to do with you. You just feel that you either don't want to cope with it, or you feel that it's not relevant to what's going on in your life at the moment. And the reason for this, it can be, there's so much going on. We're having to cope with all our physical changes. We're having to deal with day-to-day stress, which just seems to compound more as time goes on. You might find that the sort of the day-to-day stress just goes on and on and on. And you also find that it's much more difficult to switch off. But on the other hand, sometimes you just switch off. You go into that zone, as we call it. I remember for me, and those of you that have been watching for a while will remember the story of I was washing the dishes one morning and sort of came to as I was trying to put a big bottle of fabric conditioner into the fridge. And my first thought wasn't, why am I doing this? I was puzzled as to why it wouldn't fit, So you can get lots of experiences where you're doing things, and the classic one is that you put things down or you put things in a certain place and then say to yourself, oh, I'll remember where it is. And I'm sure that there's things around my house that I've lost that I will find one day in very strange places. And it's just because you're not actually conscious and focusing. Everything's done on a kind of robot-like way, if you like. You can also feel really edgy and jumpy. You might find that you can't relax at all, that it's just, and especially when you go to bed, you're more tense, you get more anxious the more you try and get to sleep. You might find that you're more reactive as well. So you're getting really angry with people, you're getting irritated, you lack patience, and this may be the complete opposite to the person that you are. And I know quite a lot of you say that you don't understand who you are anymore because you don't recognize yourself. And again, very often this is due to low estrogen. It can also be the fact that your nervous system gets stuck in flight or fight. So you're always in that kind of panicky mode. So when the slightest things happen or somebody says something to you that you don't like, you get much more upset and much more easily unbalanced as well. So for this particular one, you might find our passion flower spray helpful. And remember, magnesium, it's a great one for calming the nervous system down when you feel that you're on edge the whole time. Third thing you can feel is sort of fuzzy-headed and spaced out and confused. You know, people will be talking to you about something and you'll have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. It's like, again, it's like you're inhabiting a different world to other people. For this particular one, especially when it's focus and concentration, this is very often due to dehydration. So remember, plenty of water on a daily basis. It can also be due to low blood sugar levels. So you might find that this kind of scenario tends to happen at the same time every day, and it's just the fact that you're needing food. It can also be low blood pressure, so that fuzzy head, just feeling spaced out. So this is a good one. If this is happening on a daily basis, then it's always a good idea. Maybe pop into your local pharmacy and ask if they can take your blood pressure just to make sure it's not getting too low. Another indication of low blood sugar is if you, low blood pressure, if you bend down to pick something up and the minute you stand up, everything seems to be going round and round. And fatigue will cause this as well. If you're tired, if you're not sleeping well, if you're just so busy that you can't catch your own breath, then it's no surprising that you're going to get this spacey feeling and not being able to cope. So I hope you found this one helpful. You may find that you end up with a combination of all these particular symptoms. Remember, as I said before, this is not in your head. You are not going mad. There is very, very specific sort of physical situations going on in your body at this moment that are causing these symptoms. So just bear that in mind and don't put too much pressure on yourself. Remember, as always, I love to hear your stories. Have you felt any of these symptoms? What did you do to help yourself? You know, I always love to read your stories. And I'll see you later and hope you have a lovely week.